We're going to see how a student interacts with Zaya's English learning software and content. Student can open this web page on any browser, on a desktop, tablet, or mobile phone. Here you pick a student, then each user has a unique username. For example, mine is Neil. Student enters his username password. Then the first thing he sees is, am I going to learn or do I do a quiz today? Let's go to learn. The system checks with him to ensure that I am right, the same user. For the first time, it will take me to a tour of the product, explaining what all I could do here. I have courses, I have different lessons, topics, units. I could learn using a video, game, practices, and then I start learning. Over here, you can see that students earn different badges for achieving levels of mastery on the product. Here's the English course, for example. Once I select the course, I'm going to see different levels that I need to achieve. As mentioned in the program, we have the entire course divided into level 1, level 2, up to level 5. Each level has multiple units and topics under that. By navigating this, the student can actually go through all the topics. Now, level 1 can start with basic vocabulary. And over here, you can see the lessons under basic vocabulary. The student selects a given lesson. The first time, it tries to explain the student how to use this product. That here's how you change a lesson. You can see your profile. You can see your badges. And this is where you click to learn. We're done. Let's start with this content. This part indicates that there is a video through which the student will get instructions for this particular lesson.
मैं, I, आप, you. I हमेशा बड़ा लिखा जाता है अगर वो सेंटेंस के बीच में आए तब भी.
As you can see, the content is bilingual. That is for students who have some level of Hindi knowledge who don't want to learn English. The content is broken into very modular levels.
जब you सेंटेंस के
Once the student has finished watching the entire video, this moves on to the next part, which is a practice. The student selects the practice, and here you can see that there are multi-level practices that the student needs to do to master that particular skill set or module. Let's start with level 1. Here you can see the question is I, and we need to find which sound matches that.
मैं, आप.
Once the student selects this option and submits it, he gets feedback if this was the right option. The student then moves to the next question.
आप. मैं.
Let's select this option and submit it. Oops, this was the wrong option. So the student gets immediate feedback and loses points. This encourages him to try not to guess and make the right answers every time.
मैं, आप.
Once this is complete, the next level unlocks. If the student does not master this level, the subsequent levels which are harder do not get unlocked. Let's start with level 2.
U,
As you can see, the audio plays automatically when the question is started. Select the right option.
I, U, U,
As you can see, in each level, the complexity of the questions become harder, expecting the student to have certain proficiency in English. There you go. So we have finished all 3 levels right now. You can go back to the lesson. Now, if the student wants to go and revise this, he can watch the video again or go and take a quiz. These are micro assessments that help us understand the student's level. Not every lesson or module has a micro assessment. Some of these are grouped based on certain concepts, like pronouns would have one micro assessment together. The difference between a practice and an assessment is that the practice is not time bound and is developed so that students actually make mistakes and learn, versus the quiz is more to determine the mastery and proficiency of the student. Once the module is done, the student can change the lesson to the next one. As you see, this covers different vocabulary, classroom commands, conversation, block assessments. Like this is a block assessment which should cover all the topics that were covered before. It's around 29 questions that were picked from all the topics. Over here, we will just skip.
अपना,
Once the quiz is done, as you can see, there is immediate feedback to the student on what he skipped and what he answered. The student can actually see the right and wrong answers based on that. That's it. The student has finished a couple of lessons. His point has increased. The students can actually see his activity over here for what he's received badges and points. The student logs out once he's finished his 1 hour or 45 minutes of lessons.